All right, Tammy, Anish, and Amur. Are you guys there? If there, please let me allow you to um, uh, can you please put on your video cam if possible and unmute yourself? Hi, Amur, I can see you.
Hello, Hasan. How are you?
Hi, I am good, thanks. Anish, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Very good,
Am I
Anish.
audible?
And just wait,
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for Tammy. Tammy, are you there? I think we can start with you guys, and in the meantime, Tammy can join, right? All right. So, viewers, in the March 2024 attempt, there were 5 students who scored really good marks. All of them got 79. The one is Tammy from UK, then Kamran from Azerbaijan, and then Anish from India, and then Trilochana from Sri Lanka, and Amur from Oman. So I was able to get hold of Tammy, Anish, and Amur. Tammy is joining probably in a couple of minutes. So let's start with Anish and Amur. So guys, thank you so much for joining in, and big congratulations for scoring absolutely fabulous marks. So Anish, can you let us know what your study plan was in the last 4 weeks?
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. Thank you for inviting me over the call. And my plan for the last couple of weeks were mostly to focus on the practical side. I focused more on practice. I attempted a lot of mocks, and I gave the mocks, also gave the mocks you suggested. And I did get in touch with the top 25 topics by like time to time. And every day after the videos, after the lectures, when we used to get some notes, I used to go through them the same day. That was it. That was the plan.
So you practiced a lot, like mental practice, or you were practicing on the CBE platform?
No, so only practicing on the CBE platform. Every question I attempted, I practiced on the CBE platform.
Oh, okay, good. So during the last 3 weeks, you were focusing more on drafting and practice and
Yes, sir.
just revising the important topics. So less time on theoretical revision and more time on
Practical
past
side. Yes.
papers. Right, right. All right, Amur, unmute.
So I'd say I'd had a similar approach to Anish. So, but I would review the grand revision summary like once a day. Just quickly go through it, 10 minutes, because those are the topics that you're most probably going to be tested on. So I made sure to focus on
Right.
that. And yeah, practical practice is very important as well, like making sure your drafting technique and your structures are all in place and testing yourself under time condition.
Right. So in the last 3 weeks, your study plan was revising the important topics and then practicing.
Yeah, but more emphasis on practice, definitely.
Understood. Understood. Tammy, are you there? If you are, can you put on your video cam and unmute?
Hi, everyone. Hello.
Hi, Tammy. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. So, Tammy, we were discussing in the last 3 weeks before the exam, what was your study plan like?
It was more of a practicing questions as well. And also like um studying the 25 or summarized topic. That was like my
Okay.
go-to. It was also helpful and also like practicing questions.
So tell me, how much time you used to give in to SBL in the last 3 weeks on an average?
Actually, for me, I would say like in the last 1 month, it was almost like my weekends, like Saturday and Sunday, I definitely do not joke with it. Maybe like I do like 10 hours each day. And then during the week, I do like maybe 2 hours, 3 hours sometimes. Yeah.
Very good. So Tammy used to give 10 hours over the weekend and during weekdays, 2 or 3 hours. Anish,
Yes,
what
yes.
about you? How much time you used to give
Yes, sir, around 4 5 hours, 3 to 5 hours a day, as I was a full-time student
on
back
a
then.
daily basis?
Yeah.
And Amur,
Since I work full time, maybe during weekdays, an hour and a half, 2 hours a day, and weekends I try to push myself a bit.
excellent. All right. So now my next question is during that exam, 3 hours and 15 minutes, what actually you think you did due to which you got so high marks? Tammy.
I think like what I did was to focus more on the questions that I knew that they were exhibits that had the information, and then because I think there was like two questions that it was like bunker question, there was no exhibit on it, so I left down those two for like last, and then I focused on the ones with the exhibit, and those were the ones I gave all my best, answered it to my satisfaction before now moving to the bunker questions.
Right. So you focused more on the easier questions which
Yeah.
had direct exhibits and
Correct.
and those two bounce questions in your view, you focused less on them and more on the ones which were more linked with exhibits.
Yes, yes, correct.
All right. Anish, what did you do in your opinion in those 3 hours, 15 minutes, which got you 79?
Yeah, sir, sure, sir. As Temi said, I did, appeared for the questions first who had specific exhibits. Not just I have to, bounce a question I attempted for the last. I tried my best to attempt bounce a question to the last, as those required a lot of time and, extra efforts. I had to go through pre-scene again and again, like get back to it. But it was manageable. It was a lengthy exam, and I did, I guess, practice helped
Right.
me a lot.
Very similar to what Tammy did, eh?
Yes.
Amur?
I feel like drafting was very important during the exam, making sure you have the right structure, and also comes down to small details like the tone. Are you an external, are you an external individual or internal? And also down to the fact that you can't think like an accountant. You're writing reports to the board and so on. You don't want to use language that is very accountant based. Think more macro, think strategy when discussing these matters. And yeah, I feel like that made the difference. And also the
And
use of
how did
subheadings.
you subheadings? Very interesting. How did you deal with bouncer
Subheadings, yeah.
question?
Um, I feel like I had a good understanding of the industry in the previous exam, so that helped me deal with it. So I didn't really struggle that much. And with bouncer questions, it's good to use general language, you
So
know?
what
So
was
general
the
language really
industry
helps.
based exam?
I think it was football. Football.
And I know for Oman, football is a favorite game, right?
Yeah,
Good for
yeah, it's
you.
pretty popular here.
All right, Amur, tell me, were you able to complete the paper?
Yeah, I was able to complete it within time, and I had like 10 minutes left. So I just went through making sure that grammar was right, I didn't miss any points, and so on. Just quickly skimming through it.
So how did you manage your time? Like how did you focused very hard on time management? What was the strategy for time management?
So I took questions one by one in the order that they came in, but I made sure to quickly put in my structure and subheadings and not to dive too deep You know, your only 1 point is 2 marks. You shouldn't be mentioning 2 points in one paragraph. So 3 lines, 4 lines
Nice.
max, and you're done. Move on to the next point.
Excellent, excellent. Anish, what about you were able to complete the paper?
Yes, I was, I completed the paper in the very last 5 seconds, I would say. And it was a lengthy bit, but, practice really helped. And I would say my strategy was, just pick up a line from the exhibit and write your thoughts about it. Don't just struggle too much on it. You just, as Amur said, like focus on the macros
And
and focus
how
on
many
more
lines
general.
per point? How many lines per point?
I would say 3 to 4 line a paragraph. I would say after giving a subheading, I would take a line from the exhibit and give
Yeah.
1 to 2 line explanation for the same.
All right. So you picked one line from the exhibit and then just added 1 or 2 lines from your own elaborating on it.
Yes, sir.
And this is what Amur did. He said he did not went into a lot of details because 1 mark point is only 2 marks. So he just touched upon the basics only. What about you, Temi? Were you able to complete the paper?
Almost, except for the bouncer question, which took a little bit of time because like you had to like think about it because there was no exhibit backing it up. But I mean, I was still able to write something down, or and I mean, I was satisfied with what I wrote because it's a bouncer question after all. And also like in terms of like answering the questions, like Abu already said, like mostly like putting just like 1 line or 2 line from the exhibit and also like additional 1 or 2 line your own understanding just to back it up. Yeah.
So what I hear is that all of you, what's common is that your points were very concise. 1 line from the exhibit, maximum two additional lines. So 3 lines, max 4 for each point. That is how you were able to complete the paper on time.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. What about models? Temi, did you use a lot of models or you just went with logical answers?
I don't think I even use any model at all because like even though I practice a lot of models, well, when I saw the questions and the exhibit and everything, there was no model to apply to, so I just went along with the with logical answering of the questions.
Understood. Anish,
Yes, sir.
did you use models in your answer to score
No, no,
extra or more? Other students think that using models will get them excellent marks.
no, sir, not at all. So models weren't of any help in the real exam, I would say. If you are practicing on a general
Right.
basis, writing more basic and specific answers, you won't be needing any model. So yeah,
All right. Amur?
Didn't use any models. Didn't feel like the question required for any model to be
Right.
used. So didn't force it.
One last question from my side, and then maybe I'll take a couple of questions from the students. Um, I heard there was a lot of common sense questions in March, unusually more than previous questions. So how do you manage common sense questions? What are the technique? How did you practice common sense questions? Because I'm expecting similar common sense questions in June as well. So what are your tips and advice? How to prepare for common sense questions? I will start with Amur.
So I think you should understand the pre-scene pretty well. Don't memorize it, understand it. And if you feel like you're lacking in that area, just Google, read online on the industry itself, look for an example of a company there, and just to get an idea of the industry itself. And experience helps. If you have real life experience dealing with certain matters, it helps as well. And you can also get experience through practice, mocks, and different ways like that.
So
So that's
Amur,
how you
what do
can
you
deal with
do?
common sense.
What do
I'm
you do
a
professionally?
financial analyst at an oil and gas company.
Yeah, that is why. All right. So you are a financial analyst in an oil and gas company. So you being financial analyst, I think you got an edge over others because the job of a financial analyst is to analyze the business and understand the big picture and how things link
Yeah,
together.
that helped. That helped for sure.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, Tammy, how did you handle the common sense questions?
I think it has to do with loads and loads of practice, including doing attempting like the mock exam, like it's very, very important. And also attempting the mock exam, and also like using like in classes you tell us like use professional skepticism, like all those things, like it's really, really helpful. It helps you when attempting the questions, like professional skepticism, using of commercial acumen, all those things, like it helps you. And also like think like a CFO, like when you see the questions, like think, okay, so like basically those are the techniques that I use.
Think like a CFO, right? So what do you do, Tammy?
I'm an auditor. I work in an audit firm in London.
Okay, you work in an audit firm as an auditor.
Yes, yes.
Very nice. Aneesh, how did you handle common sense questions?
Yes, so I would say for me, like a lot of students are also asking about the mocks. I would say the pre-mock, which ACCA gives to you before every attempt, that gives you a gist of what's coming for the exam. And I attempted the paper twice.
Right.
First time I attempted it, I wasn't feeling very sure about my attempt. So I gave another shot at it and it went pretty well. So I would say like do prepare pre-March mock or pre-June mock, and also be known to your professional skills, like being skeptic and being very communicative, and answering general basic answers, and that will be it. And think like a CFO.
So, right. So, what do you do, Anish, these days?
So currently I'm working as an auditor. It's a CA firm in Delhi, India. So I'm handling the
Okay,
US audit branch at it. So
right. So, all right. So, what I feel is there are a lot of common things between all the three of you. And that is why all of you scored 79, perhaps. And how important is your English drafting skills, Anish?
no, so I don't think that matters. Like ACCA have also said it in their official website that if you are able to speak normal basic English, you can, attempt and pass. It's not like you have to be very fluent at it or draft well written answers, or you have to write reports. You just have to answer what examiner wants, and that's what scores.
So, as I used to say in my class, keep it simple, keep it basics only. So, if your English is just basic and you're able to explain your point in simple language, that's what you did.
Yes, sir. So making it easier for the examiner to score your paper, to mark your paper, that will help.
Right. All right. Thanks. Tammy, did you struggle with English drafting or it's your first language?
No, English is not my first language. I mean, I just like basic understanding of English, like, or sometimes when you're even trying to like brush and type, like some of the words you like misspell it, but just keep it like simple. You don't have to like overcomplicate your answers or like writing like maybe 8 to 10 lines in order to prove a point. Like you don't need all of that. Just keep it simple, 3 lines or 4 lines max, and then move to the next one. Yeah.
And Amur, what about you? Did you struggle with English drafting?
Not really. I think it helped me typing quick, but this can also be done with practice. You practice, you understand what the question asks you, 3, 4 lines, and that's it. You set your structure before you answer, and yeah, that's it. No need to overcomplicate it.
Right. Do you guys do any mocks other than the extra mocks other than the one done in the live classes?
So I
Ani-
didn't do anything extra. I just did whatever was given to me by VIFHE. and I attempted all
Okay.
the mocks that were given to me. So yeah.
And Tammy, did you do extra mocks or you just did 3 mocks, which we did in the class?
Yes, I did the 3 mocks that we did in the class, and also like the previous questions that we've solved. And also a week to the exam, I took annual leave. So some questions that I know that I was really struggling with, I solved it like 2 to 3 times, like even 4 times, because like sometimes you feel like you understand it, but you try to solve it again, you don't really, you're missing some point
Wow.
or the other. So yeah, so every question that we attempted in the class, like within the 1 week leave that I had, I solved everything at least twice, some 3 times.
Very interesting point. Tammy is saying that she has actually done each question at least 2 times and some of them at least 3 times during the last 1 week before the exam. So Tammy, do you think questions are repeated or topics are repeated? And if you know the previous, if you have done it in your previous paper, would you be able to relate it much faster and better?
Yeah, absolutely. Like once you're able to like your knowledge from like solving a particular question is transferable. When you see the questions, even if you've not like it's something that you can easily tell and quickly answer. So from practice, when you practice, the more you practice, the more you're able to like easily answer, and then it gets easier for you.
All right, great. Amur, what about you? Did you do extra mocks on your own?
I didn't do extra mocks, but I made sure to redo the mocks that you did with us in class. Do
Or
it on
you
my own.
redo it? You
I
did
redid
it
it
two
by
times?
myself. Yeah, so by myself, I made sure to do it as well. Because in class,
Oh,
you
okay.
might find it easy or everything makes sense with someone guiding you, but it's important to be able to do it alone as well.
All right. I'm just going through some comments on the chat. So somebody's asking, did you do the revision kit or the study hub or the book? Amur,
No, everything I did came from the course itself and grand revision
no
summary.
book, no revision kit, no study hub.
Nothing.
Tammy?
No, it was just the 25 summarized topic, your textbook. Yeah, that was basically what I used.
No book, no revision kit, no
No,
study hub materials.
no.
Anish?
No, so not at all. So I just, brushed up on top 25 topics on 1 to 2 days at least. And also I did the notes you were giving, on a daily basis after the class, after the lectures. I did give them 1 or 2 touches. Yeah.
Excellent, guys. This is an amazing story all of you have. And I really thank all of you for taking out your time and sharing your experience. There is around 260 students listening to you right now, and many more will watch the video later on. So thank you so much for joining. I really, really appreciate that you were not obligated to join. You have passed, you have qualified maybe, but still, you have a good heart. So thank you for taking out the time. And once again, big congrats to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Right,
Thank
thanks.
you.
All right.
You,
Thank
you
you.
guys can feel free to sign off now.